Hello students, in this video let us understand the intricacies of social organization in insects. Insects, some of them are known to exhibit social organization. When you say social organization, what do you mean by that? In a colony of insects which are said to be social, you will see there will be overlapping of generations where parents will live with many generations of the offsprings. They also have what is called as cooperative brood care, wherein the members of the colony will together work and take care of the offsprings. There is reproductive division of labor. Very few members of the colony are reproductively active, and the rest of them will be sterile, and they will be either workers or soldiers of the colony. So if you look at the class Insecta, you find social organization in many insects. To name a few, you have the order Isoptera, where you have termites, Formicidae, where you have ants, and Hymenoptera, where you have bees and wasps. Depending upon the degree of sociality, there are different types of social life. If the organisms live all by themselves without having any of the social characters which we just mentioned, that is overlapping of generations or brood care or reproductive division of labor, then you call them as solitary, where they live all by themselves. Example, grasshopper. Some, like cockroaches, are called as subsocial, where adults will show some care for the young ones. The next one is communal, where different members will live in the same nest. So nest is common, but there will be no cooperative brood care. Example, digger bees. Next one is quasi-social, where there is cooperative brood care. Example, euglossin bees. Next is semi-social, where you have cooperative brood care plus reproductive division of labor, like halictid bees. Then you have the truly social insects called as eusocial, where you have cooperative brood care, overlapping of generations, reproductive division of labor, which is called as polyatheism, and generally the offsprings will be helping the parents in the upbringing of the larval forms. Social insects are differentiated in structure, function, and behavior into different types of castes. There are two major castes found in the social insect society. One is the reproductive caste, where you have the queen or sometimes the king, and the sterile caste, where you have workers and soldiers. Members of the reproductive caste generally will select the site for a new colony, and they form the first galleries. Later, it will be built up by the workers. The workers are the ones who will take care of the eggs, the larvae, collect the food for all the members of the colony, construct the nest and repair the nest, and the soldiers will defend the colony against the predators. So in this, first we will look at social life in honeybee. Honeybees are social insects. They have very large, well-organized family groups. They have different methods of communication, like pheromones or dance in honeybees. They build a complex nest, that is the hive, and they take care of the environmental factors and protect the colony from the predators. And you see there is division of labor. There are three types of adults in the honeybee colony. First is the queen, which is a fertile female. Generally, a single queen is present in the entire colony. Second type is the workers, Workers are also females, but they are sterile. Several thousands of workers are present in a colony. They build the nest, collect food, and take care of the young ones. Each member will have a definite task depending upon the age of the worker. Drones are males which are fertile. Several hundred drones may be present in the colony, especially during late spring and summer season. Social structure of the honeybee colony is maintained by queen and workers. They have a very effective system of communication by way of secreting pheromones and by the dances performed by the worker bees. Labor activities among the worker bees depend primarily on the age of the bee, but it also depends upon the needs of the colony. Reproduction and colony strength depend upon the queen, the quantity of the food store, and the size of the worker force. Queen. Generally, one single queen is present in the entire colony except at times where they go out for mating, which is called as swarming, or at times when the existing queen has to be replaced. The procedure is called as supersedure, where the existing queen will be replaced. Except at that times, only one queen is present in the colony. The queen will produce both fertilized as well as unfertilized eggs. It lays great number of eggs, especially during spring and early summer, during which it can lay up to 1500 eggs per day. Gradually, the egg laying capacity will start ceasing from the month of October, and very few or no eggs will be produced during January up to next spring season. Queen may produce up to 250,000 eggs per year. If you look at the body of the queen, it is longer than the drone or the worker, especially during the egg laying period. The abdomen of the queen is greatly elongated and she will have wings, and the wings will cover only about 2/3 of the abdomen because the abdomen is greatly distended. The life of the queen is approximately 5 years, but the actual productive lifespan is 2 to 3 years, during which she will be laying the eggs. The queen produces pheromones. She produces different types of pheromones. One of them will act as a substance which will help in identifying the colony. The members of the colony will have to remain together and identify themselves. So this will act as a social glue to connect all the members of the colony. Another substance produced by the queen by mandibular glands is the queen substance. The colony quality depends upon the egg laying capacity of the queen and the capacity of the queen to produce the eggs, the pheromones. Egg laying capacity and production of pheromones by the queen will decide the quality of the colony. The genetic makeup of the queen as well as the drones with whom she has mated will also contribute to the quality, size and temperament of the colony. So when the queen cell develops, after she emerges out, after a week, she leaves the colony, goes out for the purpose of mating. So before she goes out for mating, she will circle around the hive so that she can orient herself to the hive. When she comes back, she can come back easily. She goes away for about 13 minutes and she goes to an altitude of 20 feet, and the site is called as the drone site, where the mating will happen between the queen and the drones, generally in the afternoon. So the queen will be mated by 7 to 15 drones at a time. The drone, how are they attracted to the queen? It is because of the pheromone produced by the queen. The drones will be attracted to the drone cloud where mating will happen. In case if there is bad weather, and when this queen goes out for the flight, the mating flight, which is also called as nuptial flight, and if the weather conditions are not good for more than 20 days, then the queen will lose the ability to mate and she will produce only eggs which are not fertilized, and these unfertilized eggs will develop into drones. But generally, when the conditions are good, the queen will be mated by the drones, and after mating, the queen will return to the hive and she will start laying the eggs in about 48 hours after mating. So when the mating happens, the sperm is collected and stored in the spermatheca, a part of the reproductive system of the queen, and the queen can decide whether the sperm will be released or not. So when this queen lays an egg, at that time, if she releases a sperm, then fertilization will happen between the egg and the sperm, and it results in the formation of a diploid female which can develop into a worker or a queen. And when the egg is laid in a larger cell, and generally at that time sperms will not be released, so the egg will be haploid and it will develop by a process called as parthenogenesis into a male which is fertile called as drone. So the female and the workers are diploid females. The queen and the worker are diploid females. Queen is fertile whereas worker is sterile. The drone is haploid male who is fertile, produced parthenogenetically. The queen is constantly attended by the workers. She is fed on royal jelly produced by the workers. The number of eggs laid by the queen will depend upon the amount of food she receives, plus the workforce, means how many members of workers are there in the colony, so that they will be able to prepare the wax cell and they will be able to take care of the eggs and the larvae. Depending upon the number of workers, those many eggs will be laid by the queen. The queen produces queen substance, and this queen substance is also responsible for the suppression of the development of ovaries of the workers, so that the workers, though they are diploid, though they are genetically same as that of the queen, they will not be fertile because the ovaries are not well developed, which is suppressed by the production of the queen substance. So when the queen produces inadequate queen substance, then the workers will sense that there is some problem with the queen and they will try to replace her, the procedure called as the supersedure, or they will supersede the existing queen. So when a new queen is formed, the old queen and the new daughter queen, both of them will be present in the hive for some time after the supersedure. New queens are raised under different circumstances. One is during emergency, another one is supersedure, that is the queen has become old and not producing enough queen substance, or when the queen goes out for nuptial flight called as swarming. So emergency means the old queen may be killed accidentally or removed from the colony. So then what the workers will do, they will select young larvae and they will produce emergency queens. These are raised in worker cells. If you look at the beehive, there are three different sized cells: worker cell, drone cell and queen cell. Worker cell is smallest, drone cell is slightly bigger, and queen cell is the biggest in the hive. So what these workers will do when the queen is not there is, they will raise the new queens in the worker cells which are modified. They will be found hanging on the vertical surface of the comb. When the older queen is not producing enough queen substance, it is at that time a new queen is produced during emergency. And these supersedure queens are the ones which will be fed with huge amount of royal jelly, and the queens which develop during supersedure are better than the queens which are developed during emergency, because during emergency they will take up the workers and feed them with royal jelly, but supersedure, from beginning itself the larvae are fed with large quantities of royal jelly and they will be much better than the emergency queens. Now coming to the second individual of the colony, that is the drone, which are the male bees. They are larger than the workers. They are produced especially during the late spring and summer when mating will happen. Head is larger, bearing compound eyes. They will not have sting nor pollen baskets or wax gland because they will not do any activities of the hive. Their only function is to mate the queen during the mating flight. Drones will sexually mature in about a week's time after they emerge, and after mating they instantly die. The drones are generally fed by the workers in the initial stages. After 4 days, they will start feeding themselves. When they are 8 days old, they will go out, especially during the afternoons between the noon and 4 p.m. They go out for orientation flights. They have never seen a drone collecting food from the flowers. When the temperatures go down during winter season, the resources in the hive will become less, and the drones will generally be forced out of the colony and they will be left to starve, because drones will eat 3 times as much as food eaten by the workers. However, if the colony is not having a queen, then the drones will be kept in the hive indefinitely. Now coming to the third caste of the honeybee colony, they are the workers, which are diploid female, sterile members, smallest in size, and majority of the bees in the colony are workers, where you find thousands of them present in one single colony. So queen is only one, drones are few hundreds, and workers are few thousands. Workers are sexually undeveloped females. They cannot lay eggs. Their lifespan during summer is about 6 weeks. Workers during winter can survive up to 6 months, so that they will be able to rear new generations in the up to the next coming spring season. Workers have got special structures. They have hypopharyngeal gland, which will secrete royal jelly, which is a yogurt-like substance, white in color. They have scent glands to produce chemical substances. They have wax glands to construct the cells of the beehive and repair the cells of the beehive. They have got pollen baskets where they can collect the pollen and the nectar when they go out for foraging. So what are the activities performed by the workers? They will clean and polish the cells of the hive. They will feed the larvae. They take care of the queen. They will remove all the unwanted debris from the hive. They will take care of the nectar which is coming from outside. They will build the cells of the honey comb, and they will guard the entrance of the hive. If the hive conditions are very hot, they will try to fan with the help of their wings and try to bring the temperature down. And they go out, they collect nectar, pollen, water, and the plant sap, which is called as propolis. Sometimes you do find workers which are called as laying workers present in the colony. So what are these laying workers? When the colony goes without a queen for a week or more, then the workers' ovaries will develop and they will start producing the eggs. You will see that there is a difference between the way the laying workers and the queen will lay eggs. You will see that in the colonies where the workers are laying, they will produce 5 to 15 eggs per cell, and they will produce the drones which are reared in the worker size cell itself. They will scatter the egg randomly. If active queen lays the eggs, she does it in an organized way, whereas the laying workers will scatter the eggs randomly, found on all the sides. The queen will generally lay the eggs at the base, but these will lay all over the cell of the combs of the hive, and some of these eggs will not hatch, and many of the drone larvae that hatch will not survive to maturity because they are not well formed. So in this picture you can see the queen in the center, which is the biggest member of the colony with greatly elongated abdomen. The abdomen becomes much bigger during the breeding season. Then on the left you have the worker, the smallest member of the colony, and on the right you have the drone with well-developed head and compound eyes. So if you look at the behavior of the entire colony, if you look at how the development happens in the colony, so the pheromones play a major role. The insect societies are gigantic, having thousands of members in a colony, and one single female is producing all the offsprings of the colony. Honeybee secretes queen substance. Queen substance, chemically it has been identified as oxodecinoic acid. The workers are deprived of queen substance. The workers, the larvae which will develop into workers, will be fed with the queen substance for a very short period of time. But if the larvae is destined to become the queen, then continuously it will be fed with the royal jelly. The workers will build queen cells, take care of the queen, and also feed the young one with royal jelly. If they are destined to become workers for some time, if they are destined to become the queen, they will feed the queen, the larvae which will become the queen, with royal jelly continuously. So you have something called as haplodiploid sex determination in the queen. So the eggs which will develop into the male is by the process of parthenogenesis. When the queen lays egg, she will not release the sperm, and the haploid egg will become the male. Whereas when the queen lays an egg and releases a sperm, fertilization will happen, and that will become a female, and it becomes a worker. How it becomes a sterile worker? That is because of the queen substance secreted by the queen, which will suppress the development of the ovary. So this method of sex determination is called as haplodiploid sex determination, found in the honeybee colony. So though the queen and the workers are genetically similar, but still the queen can lay eggs and the workers cannot lay the eggs. So as I have already told you, it depends upon the type of food she has received. When she is a larva, then she will become a fertile queen. So if you look at the honeybee colony, the larva will turn to queen when the nectar will contain more than 35% hexose. And if the nectar contains less than 10% hexose, then they are destined to become workers. So the quality of the food is also responsible for the development of the larva into either queen or the worker. Workers feed queens to be with a mandibular gland secretion called royal jelly, and which this royal jelly is very important because the queen will live for a longer period of time compared to workers. Workers live only for 6 weeks and sometimes up to 6 months, but the queen lives anywhere between 2 to 4 years, and the type of food she receives as the larva is very, very important. Here you can look at the different types of cells in the honey comb. The first one, what you are seeing, the cell is filled with the honey on the left side. On the right side, you can see a queen cell where the queen is located. Then you have the cells in which the eggs are there, then the larval stages and the pupal stages. So with this, we completed the social organization in Honeybee. And if you have any doubts, you can get it clarified by asking questions. Thank you, girls.